What if I told you that your birth certificate might be connected to a secret financial system that controls debt, money, and even your legal status? What if I told you that some people believe that the US government monetizes your birth certificate, turning you into a financial asset? But is this true? Or is this just some conspiracy theory? In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the hidden connection between birth certificates, debt discharge, and how banks may be using your identity as collateral. Once again, thank you guys for watching this video. Okay, this is probably going to be one of my most insightful videos, so make sure you are watching all the way to the end. Okay, I got up early so I can be able to create this video for you guys. So you may see a little bags under my eyes, but as soon as I get in my bag, it's going to clear up. Now, we're also going to be talking about how you can essentially utilize this to your benefit as it comes to debt discharge and things of that nature. Understanding this is probably going to be another key to overcoming the system. Okay, so we about to dive straight into it. Okay, just to tell you a little bit about myself, if you're brand new, I've studied consumer law, finance, and how the system works. So essentially today I'm going to be exposing the facts that they don't want you to know. All right, if you're brand new, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, if you like, comment, and subscribe, then I'm gonna keep dropping more videos. Okay, if you don't like, comment, and subscribe, it's not gonna feed the algorithm, and I'm gonna be like, okay, bet, I'll just switch to a short form format like I was previously. So if you're watching these videos and these videos are giving you any type of value, invest in me so I can continue to invest in you. Alrighty, bet. And click that like button if you haven't already. Okay, click the like button, it's free. Alright, bet. Now, one of the things I want to start tapping into is the fact that how the birth certificate connects with the banking system. Okay, most people think that your birth certificate is just a record of birth, but some can argue that it's a financial instrument. Okay, as a matter of fact, when you think of what a birth certificate is similar to a title, or it looks like a title. You dig me? So essentially, this could be a financial instrument that the government uses to create money. And a lot of people talk about, oh, there's a lot of money behind your birth certificate. We're about to tap into that right now. Now, one of the key theories that we hear is when you are born, the government issues a bond using your birth certificate and attaches it to your social security number, creating a corporate entity called your Strawman. Now, if you don't understand this stuff or know this stuff, there is a book called Meet Your Strawman that essentially is going to break down a lot of the things that I'm talking about here. So I'm not going to just tell you this stuff and not provide sources. There's also a book called The Redemption Manual, and you can look up these books. You can literally look up these books online, okay, for free. So I'm not gatekeeping here. All right. Now, here's what the theory suggests, that the US government monetizes each person's identity, okay, and places it in a trust based on this SKV Act, and then the Federal Reserve and the banks trade these trusts as securities in global markets. So they're using us as income, okay? And because of this, your debts may already be paid through these hidden financial accounts. So when you apply for things, this trust account continues to build and compound and essentially should be paying your debts. Here's the key question. If your birth certificate is tied to a financial account, can you access it using debt discharge? We're about to tap into that right now. Now, here's what the law say about these theories. All right. When you look at House Joint Resolution 192, this was enacted in June 5th, 1933. This essentially suspended the gold standard and abrogated the gold clause. The reason why they did that was because the United States essentially went bankrupt. So because of this emergency situation, they couldn't handle the dealings in gold, as it says here, whereas the holding and dealing of gold affect the public interest, therefore subject to proper regulation and restriction. Whereas the existing emergency has disclosed that the provisions of the obligations which purport to give the obligee a right to require payment in gold or a particular kind of coin or currency are inconsistent with the declared policy of Congress in the payment of debts. So it also says that this resolution declared that any obligation requiring payment in gold or a particular kind of coin or currency, and every obligation herefore and hereafter incurred shall be discharged upon payment dollar for dollar, in a coin or currency, which at the time of payment is legal tender for public and private debts. So when you look at this aspect, and it says that in 1933, the U.S. government took the country off the gold standard and made citizens as assets under the new financial system because of, this is just part of it, okay? They're saying, hey, if we're gonna discharge this obligation in some way, shape, or form, we're gonna have to find a way to monetize this, okay? And essentially, after this, some people claim that this is when the strawman identity was created for every person in America. Now, this is what I believe. I believe that the strawman aspect was created after this. I believe that they took a lot from, if you guys are familiar with the Landlord's Game, which is the first version of Monopoly. Landlord's Game was a little bit before the House Joint Resolution 192. And I don't know if they worked in cahoots with the person that created that, but it's so funny how our system pretty much mimics Monopoly. Okay. We can also go to 31 USC 5118 that talks a little bit more about the gold clauses. And so, long story short, man, this law prohibits Americans from demanding payment in gold and establishes legal tender as Federal Reserve notes. Okay. And then some argue this proves that your debt isn't backed by real money, but by a corporate trust. So here's what it says here. The gold clause means a provision in or related to an obligation alleging to give the obligee a right to require payment in gold, a particular coin or currency, in United States money measured in gold, or a particular United States coin or currency. Okay. It talks about the public debt obligation. Means a domestic obligation is issued or guaranteed by the United States government to repay money or interest. And it says the United States government may not pay out any gold coin. A person lawfully holding United States coins or currencies may present the coins and currencies to the Secretary of Treasury for exchange dollar for dollar for other United States coins or currencies other than gold and silver that may be lawfully held. So part of this, they confiscated that from us. Okay. So it says an obligation issued containing a gold clause or governed by a gold clause is discharged on payment dollar for dollar in United States coin or currency that is legal tender at the time of payment. Okay. So again, there's no gold according to this law. So again, if you're asking me for $1, you're pretty much asking me for debt. You dig me? You're asking me for a Federal Reserve note, which is debt to the United States, which is something that was borrowed from the Federal Reserve already. Okay? Then we can dive into, you see, 1-308. Then we tap into how it says a party with under the performance or acceptance under reservation of rights. It says that a party that with explicit reservation of rights performs or promises performance or assents to performance in a manner demanded or offered by the other party does not thereby prejudice the rights reserved. Such words as without prejudice, under protest, or the like are sufficient. And long story short, it says that you can reserve your rights. Okay, you can reserve your legal rights under contract law. So part of this, you can use the UCC1 financing statement to reclaim your strawman identity and use it to discharge debt. See, if you use the UCC1, people don't understand what the UCC1 is. They think, hey, you just fill out the form. But when you do it, when you file a UCC1, it puts a lien on your strawman. And it puts a public notice out there that, hey, look, this is my strawman, okay? And I want to reserve my rights by having ownership over this. I want to reserve the right to be able to put out there that I'm actually alive, that I am not my corporate entity. We can also talk about the fact that every single citizen receives a social security number being, something to track your financial value in the system. Some people would say it's a bank account. It's a routing number to your bank account. Whatever the case may be, all right, if it is linked to a Federal Reserve account, what is in that account? If it's a bank account, what is in that account? Why is the account there? Okay. People will talk about the fact that you can put in those numbers on the back as a routing number. I'm not suggesting to use that. I know some people who do not understand the law, they pretty much get in a position where they try to utilize this and it doesn't, it works for an extent, but some people get bit in the ass for trying to do this and not knowing how to preserve their rights, okay, or haven't gone through the reservation of rights process, okay, haven't separated themselves from the straw man, or haven't even put a public notice out there that they are outside of their straw man. So essentially, the straw man doesn't have rights because it's a dead entity. You dig me? If it's a dead entity and a straw man doesn't have rights, it cannot do certain things within the jurisdiction. Okay, that is the whole point. Okay, now let's get into the meat and potatoes. Can you use this to discharge debt? Okay, is there any proof that you can access these straw man accounts? Okay, even though many people will claim that they can access the secret trust accounts using birth certificates to pay off debts, I don't know how much truth there is to that, but I know that it is possible if you understand how to do this. This is why I say tap into Meet Your Straw Man. This is why I say tap into things like the UCC connection. Tap into the redemption manual. Gather more of an understanding, because if you have an understanding of these things, then what's going to happen is you may be able to use this, okay, to be able to prove that your debt is paid, to be able to prove that there is an account out there. Now, I can't put out there that there is money to be given to you based off of these accounts, because there's no verified proof that this stuff works. You dig me? Like, yes, people will put out there that, oh, yes, I was able to get money and things of that nature, whether it's through their treasury account, via bonds, whether they was able to, win a court case and prove that there was some money given to them. But the thing is, you're not going to get $100 million, okay? Even if you go deep into the rabbit hole, you're not going to get $100 million, okay? Typically, courts will reject the sovereign citizen argument where people try to use, UCC forms to discharge debt. And the reason why they reject this sovereign citizen argument is because people think that, arguing to the courts is what's going to give you the money. Do you think they want to give you money at all? No. Okay, so here's what actually works. Okay, you file a UCC-1 to protect your asset, which is your straw man. Okay, it's not to erase debt. Okay, it is something to put you in a better position of negotiation and put a public notice out there that you are outside of the jurisdiction of your straw man. Okay, you're two different entities. That's the whole point of the UCC-1 filing. Okay, you can challenge debt under consumer law like the FDCPA, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which is super essential, because if you just challenge debt using a Fair Credit Reporting Act, that is a much easier argument than trying to challenge the fact that you should be getting $100 million. And then what are you going to do? Take this $100 million to do what with it? Buy assets within the United States system? No, they're not gonna do it that way. Okay, you can use things like debt validation, dispute letters, and challenge the credit bureaus, which are actual legal strategies out there, because the true way to be able to access the money in the trust right here is to be able to get credit. The whole point of the system and everything I just talked about is the reason why there is credit. There's a reason why you can come to the United States, literally have $0 and be able to pull out $100,000 in credit if you have a business in good credit. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason why immigrants try to come to the United States to start a business, because they can be able to get credit from the bank out of thin air. When we talk about the Federal Reserve Act, when we talk about the fact that they do accounting entries, the fact that all you have to do is strategize yourself, fix your credit over the next 3 to 4 months. You fix your credit over the next 3 to 4 months, then you can actually access that money in a trust. You don't just access the money in a trust by going through years and years and years of court battles to prove that there's $100 million in your birth certificate. You get what I'm saying? Now, everything I just discussed, these theories may be true. And I will say that this stuff is true, okay? We clearly know what a certificate is. As a matter of fact, when you look at the definition of certificate, it says a written document that verifies a fact, attests to authenticity, or proves ownership. Dig me? So it's a title, you feel me? And when you look at your birth certificate looks very similar to a title of a car, a title of your home. You dig me? Can we agree and can we not agree that they both look the same? We can agree, okay? Similar embroidery, okay? Similar design, same type of paper. And if you know anything about admiralty and maritime law, then certificate, I'm not an expert on this aspect, but I'll tell you the certificate has a lot to do with the water, boats, and things in that nature. I'm sure you guys in the comment section could be able to provide some type of insight to that. And maybe I'll do more of a deep dive maybe I'll do a deep dive into Meet Your Strawman and talk a little bit about that in one of my next videos. But the whole point of this video and what I'm trying to get to you is that, yes, the theories that we talk about when it comes to the birth certificate and hundreds and thousands of millions of dollars in a trust account that's built up in a QSIP number and things of that nature, yes, that theory could be true. But you being able to actually use applicable law to be able to get that money in a trust, or you being able to come up with some type of argument for them to put money in your trust, yes, you can scream to the fences that, hey, look, man, I'm supposed to be getting this money in the trust. But it requires a great deal of understanding. Even deeper, given the fact that it's a theory that is not widely accepted, okay? But this further affirms that, yes, debts can be discharged. This further affirms that, yes, you can get unlimited amount of money. This further affirms that there is a whole system built around your trust account, built around money from the banks, built around some type of financial aspect that we should be able to benefit from. Because if they're using us to benefit, they're using us to participate in commerce, then we have some level of benefit from that. And right now, that benefit is credit, okay? I don't care what you think, any loophole around it. I promise you, to go back and forth with the credit bureaus is a much easier battle than trying to go back and forth with the court system and how you should be getting this $100 million. No, put your credit in position. Use debt validation, the FDCPA and the Fair Credit Reporting Act to challenge your debt. Make them prove that there is debt to be owed. Make them prove that money hasn't been given out to them. Make them prove that their source of funds. Because if they actually prove it, then it will tie back to these things. But this is information that they want to keep a theory, and this is how we're able to overcome the system. This is how we're able to get ahead and take advantage of these things here in terms of challenging debt, because this is something they would never truly say, yes, there's money that we're taking out your trust account and it's paying all your debts. No, they would never say that. So when we go in court and we say, hey, look, where did you guys get your money from? And they cannot explain it, you win. So now you kind of know just the hidden connection between the birth certificate, debt, and the banking system. Down below, I have a step-by-step blueprint on how to be able to boost your credit through the 750 accelerator, okay? 750 accelerator, you can use the discount code 750. If you use the discount code 750, you'll be able to get the 750 accelerator for 50% off. The second thing is the complete debt guide is down below, where I dive deeper into these concepts and understand the whole complete debt guide and debt discharge aspect. And if you grab the complete debt guide, I dive deeper into these concepts and talk about how to be able to apply these things so that you're not in a situation where you are confused. The third thing, if you want to work with me one-on-one, down below you can apply to work with me, okay? If you work with me one-on-one, I can be able to not only help you fix the things that is essential to your growth financially, and I'm not going to be so focused on the theories. I'm going to be focused on what actually is going to work so that you can take advantage of this and not be in this cycle of, is it going to happen for me? No, I'm going to give you step-by-step blueprints that's going to get you results as regards to your credit. That's actually going to get you the money that you're looking for, okay? That's what my one-on-one mentorship is about. I can consult you about these things as well. We can have more compounding conversations about these things and be able to bounce ideas off each other, especially for those people. If you need that legal help, down below I have SoloSuit. SoloSuit will pretty much do the work for you. All you do is pay a fee up front and they'll pretty much generate and write the letters for you. You don't have to learn anything. If you do learn, it's even better. And down below, if you want that daily content, check me out on Instagram. Okay? So another thing, just to kind of close out, if you've ever heard of the birth certificate financial system, drop down what you guys have heard about that down below. Put down more questions, things you want me to talk about in my next video. Tell me if you think that's a fact or a myth. All right, I believe it's a fact, but it's a myth on the aspect of us being able to just get the money just through arguing these things. Okay, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, like, comment, and subscribe. I know you guys, if you gather 23 minutes of content, 23 minutes of game, like, comment, and subscribe. Dig me? If you like, comment, and subscribe, you invest in me, and I'll invest in you. If you got all the way to the end, comment the word discharge so that I know that you got here. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.